Okay.
So we'll do that, and then we'll introduce you that way. All right. What's up, y'all? This is the
All
Inside Your Mind podcast, bringing you guys back to you. We're live here. I'm your host, Pikupsticks. Of course, again with my co-host, Geo. What up, Geo? Tell them what's up, man.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing today? It's your boy Gio.
We got over here my other co-host today. You know him, Blitz. What up, Blitz? Tell them what's up, baby.
Hey, what's going on, people? Letting you know, hey, this is me, Blitz, aka Ace Pilot of Titanfall, aka Showstopper. You feel me?
We're short the other host today, Zobi70. Shout outs to Zobi, the man. Y'all know who it is. But we got a special guest here today. Y'all know him as Emp Triforce, the Nintendo's ambassador is what I call him. What's up, Triforce? Introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, man.
Hey, everybody. It's Triforce. Big Nintendo fan. Uh, shout outs to EMP, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, EMP. Since you said that, shout out to EMP. Who is EMP? What is EMP? Just so they can know. We want to let everybody get an idea as to who you are and who we're talking to here, so we can just get into that a little bit. What is EMP really?
EMP is it's an acronym short for Empire Arcadia. It's a gaming team for the most part. It's really a development organization that has a gaming team, and we compete in competitive gaming, also known as eSports, for the last well since 2002. So we've been going around playing all types of games. In fact, right now, one of our guys, Mewtwo King, is in the winners finals of Super Smash Sundays East Coast. He's playing
East Coast.
Project M right now. Yeah, so we've been playing a whole bunch of different competitive games throughout the years, starting all the way back from like the arcades, consoles, from games to like fighting games, even some PC games. We're not heavy on PC, although we're trying to go there, definitely this year and next year. But we competed in a multitude of different games and different genres, fighting shooters, racers, RTS, you name it, puzzles, that type of thing.
Oh,
This
okay.
is
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I know who you are. Geo knows who you are. Blitz, we do. There might be some people
Mm.
out there who don't know, so I just wanted to kind of give them a background of it. I had another question we
Okay.
wanted to know, just so they can get really familiar with you. Like you as a gamer personally, what's your background?
My background in gaming stems from like the early '80s. Started out playing casually. Actually, I was never even into video games. When I was a little kid, I was so much into toys and stuff like that. Like I never thought I would ever like start playing toys because my imagination. I have like a large imagination. I still do now, like a big kid in certain
mm,
regards. But when I got
respect.
when I got put onto video games by my brother, um, he used to bring home like these little tabletop games, Popeye and Donkey Kong and like the Game and Watch stuff. And I was kind of interested, but I was like, I could, because I couldn't understand it. I guess I was intimidated by it. I just stuck with my toys, and that was just there. That was it. But then one day, my dad stopped by this grocery store on White Plains Road in the Bronx, and I wanted to get home so we could watch cartoons. And he was like, here's 4 quarters, go play some games until he's ready. And there was a Star Wars Vector machine there, like Vector arcade machine. So
Yeah.
I started playing it, and I got to like the third stage, and the guy was watching me playing it. He was like, "Yo, you're good." So I got gassed up, and so I was like, "Oh man, automatically I'm thinking I'm the best." And then from there it was just like, I just want to play as many more games as possible, see how good I can become. Then I found out that video games is just interactive toys. That's actually what it is.
Right.
So instead of using your imagination will be displayed in digital format on the screen. So I would have to try to create my own adventures. I would go into an adventure created for me, and I would be able to interact with it. And then it was just done from there. From there, I was
Huh?
like, nah, man, this is it for me, video games. And that stupid little B rap music, video games, video games. It was like that. So
Man,
that's how I started into the
that's
video
what's up.
games.
That's
And
cool as
then
shit.
I started playing competitively like in the late '80s. going into the early '90s. I started playing some seriously, like when Nintendo had the Nintendo World Championships. They had the Tetris, Mario, and Star Fox qualifiers. I qualified at the Macy's in Parkchester to go to the World Championships, and I never
To
got to
play
get to
what
the World
game?
Championship. Just to play in the World Championships when they held it in New York. It was a whole
Right.
bunch of games. It was a different multitude of games that they had for the World Championships, but I never got there.
Uh huh.
That's the thing. Like I was supposed to get there at 1 o'clock, if I can remember correctly, and I got there at like 2:30, and I was
Oh
disqualified from my
man.
qualification, and I was so tight.
Huh.
But I from there was just like I would buy games just to beat them and try to beat them at the highest level. I would go to arcades and put up the high and put my name TGM, which was short for the Game Master. And
Uh,
then this is like late 90s now. I got married, and I used to invite like guys throughout the Bronx or like on Fordham Road because I had my own place now, and I would like to try to see. I would go to the arcade, see who was like the best there, and invite them back to my crib, and then we would play some games just so I can beat them, just so I can prove to myself how good I was. But then, a lot of these guys, like I end up like just becoming real good friends with, and then some of them, checked me in the reality, because like although there were certain games I could beat them in, there was just certain games that like they would beat me in, and I was getting real upset. Like they would beat me in like WrestleMania, No Mercy. Then we started playing GoldenEye, and when the guys found out the glitch how to crawl up into the vent, I was getting mad, upset. Like, and then I found out that like everyone else like is actually good.
Yeah.
Um, so Sanford now, like it's a culmination of Sanford and my wife, because my wife was like, you're a grown man, you can't be sitting here playing video games, all day. You're married to me, like you have to, provide, and it's true.
Uh huh.
So that is one of the things that made me want to definitely like take professional gaming seriously. But Sanford got into a big argument with me, and we was playing Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the PlayStation. And he actually was on the no, I was on the PlayStation because I was complaining about the controllers, but he had Balrog, and I don't like how the PlayStation D-pad is. I never liked it because anyone who's played any of the earlier Street Fighter games on like the Genesis and Super Nintendo, or even the Saturn, you like that complete eight-way feel of the D-pad, but the PlayStation doesn't have that. It has like a four-way feel
Yeah. It
because
breaks
of
it
the
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
it breaks it off. So for me, I couldn't do deep dragon punches properly on the PlayStation controller, and he would jump in with Balrog all the time, and I tried to dragon punch it, and I couldn't get it out. And Sanford was like, "It's not because you can't get it out; it's because you suck." We got into an argument over that, and Sanford used to go to the like Chinatown and compete. There when he met Flash, Gordon, and Justin Wong, and the rest of those guys. And he was like, when you get on my level, and you're not just a game master in your house or on your block, when you
Right.
can get to my level, and you're on the internet and you're all over the world, then I'll respect you as a game master. And that right there made me. I was like, you know something? I'm gonna form a team, a gaming team, and we're gonna go out in the world, and we're just gonna like compete. And I'm gonna prove to Sanford that like, I can be up there in the world. And it's funny because in 2012, like when we have the Arc wall has all our trophies. The
Mhm.
entire upper wall has all world records and all the championships that I've won. And Sanford was like, you know something? When I look at this, I remember me saying, when you get to that level, and here you are in Guinness Book. He's like, I respect that. You stepped it up. But
You bring up
you know,
Guinness. You bring up Guinness Book, and you guys having trophy records and stuff. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I want to get that
no,
thought
no
out
problem.
before we get there. Um, so, as a team, Empire Arcadia, you guys own records in the Guinness Book of World Records for video games and things like that.
Yeah, in 2012, Guinness awarded us the record for the most tournament wins for a video game team. That includes for a gaming team. That includes setting world records at tournaments, because like there's this tournament called ACAM, the American Museum. I forgot the entire title for it, but it's in Fun Spot. It's in New Hampshire, upstate. Well, actually, I want to call it upstate. It's really like Boston,
Okay.
Massachusetts. But it's the world's biggest arcade, and each year they would have like a big tournament where you can set world records there. And then there's also a tournament head-to-head play that you get, and whether it may be competing in World Cyber Games, whether it's competing in MLG, whether it's competing in Twin Galaxies, whether it's competing at Evo, wherever the league is, GGL, whatever the case may be, all the tournaments that we've ever won, world championships, national championships, international championships, all of those, we submitted those into Guinness and they adjudicated it. And because they adjudicated it, they totaled it, and we have the most wins for a gaming team.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but you know one thing he was talking about, guys. I bet you guys can both relate to this. Like, when you grow up and you're playing games, do you guys remember Geo and Blitz? Like, remember growing up and being like the best one on your block, and then and
Dog, yeah. Oh my god,
Or at least
nostalgia to
try.
the
Yeah,
max.
yeah,
at
and
least
then
Dude.
yes.
Oh my
and then
god.
you know what totally changed that for gamers is we grew up online. You grew up and you're like, man, I body everybody on the block. Like everyone
Get
come over to my
online,
crib
you
and
get
I
your
whoop
ass
them.
smacked.
Right? It's crazy, man. So it's funny when you said that Triforce, like you were the best in your block around your neighborhood and stuff, and then you meet Sanford, he comes over and he starts bodying you free and shit. It's like that stuff happens now, man. You grow up, you play against your friends on your block, and then you hop online and you just get destroyed, or you go to a local and you just get destroyed. It's crazy.
Y- But the thing is, with the thing is with our guys like Sanford is that it was harder because like when you go online, you're really playing one or two games,
Uh huh.
so you're you're really limited to what you can play. Like if Sanford
Yeah.
was to play me like Star Fox, I would destroy Sanford. But then if Sanford
Right.
turns on the Saturn and puts on X-Men versus Street Fighter, Sanford would bother me in that. Then I would be like, okay, let's do a points run in Contra. I'd beat him in that, but then he'll turn on GoldenEye and he'll beat me in that. And then it goes back and forth because we played a bunch of different games.
Yep.
He'll beat me in No Mercy, but then I'll beat him in Mario Kart and so forth. So for him, um, for those guys, like it was a back and forth thing. It wasn't like we were destroying each other, but what made it so good is that we were actually making ourselves better as a whole. We were actually diversifying our abilities to play video games. So we had a certain fundamental that we were learning, and that fundamental, believe it or not, carries over in some of the games. When you play online, when you tell someone, oh, I'm the best, they really just get online for that one game that you're talking about, whether it may be Call of Duty, whether it may be Soul Calibur, whether it may be Street Fighter, Tekken, or whatever. But it's really not like a multitude of games. That's not the case.
You're
So, but
right.
I do understand your point.
Yeah, you're right though. Like I've noticed, I've talked about that before. Like people play games now, and they call themselves gamers. They'll say, "Hey, I'm a big time gamer." But if you looked at their game history, which like Xbox records or PlayStation, you see they can play every day of the year. They play one or two games. They play
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call of Duty or they play Street Fighter and they play and that's all they play religiously. Now you slap a hard single player game in on them or another game like a first person shooter that they never played before, and you'll see, oh, you can't adapt. You can't adjust. You can't really play this. You can't puzzle solve. You can't strategically platform. You can't do anything differently than what you're used to playing all the same time. What do you think about those type of gamers? Do you think they're like,
Everyone in the world is a gamer. You're born as a gamer, to be honest with you. We have a thing with our new logo that we made, a story behind it as to how that logo was even made to begin with. And in 3100 BC, the first game was created called Senet, which is now what we know as is chess. So even back down to the Queen Nefertari, they have hieroglyphics of her playing the game. Games help expand our mind and from for a whole lot of different things. So it's not a bad thing. We're all gamers deep down. We all like to problem solve. We're all competitive in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So video games is just technology enhancing games. So instead of it being a game or a board game, it's a video game, but it's still a game nonetheless. So with that, we're all gamers. And with us all being gamers, you just have different people types of gamers. You have gamers who are diverse, and then you have gamers who aren't. You have gamers who they just play Madden, and that's it. They can't play anything else.
Yeah,
But then you have
Madden, all
game,
the
yeah,
basketball games and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. You have different types of gamers. That's it. But everybody is still a gamer. Even a cell phone gamer is still a gamer. You have a lot of people, grown ups who are like, well, we don't play no video games. We don't have no time for that. But then you see them on the train sitting there playing Tetris. So it's like, you are a gamer. You're not hardcore.
Right.
Most gamers on the planet are casual.
Oh, okay. I feel you. So, what do you want to ask him? Blitz, you got anything you want to talk to him about? What's going
Yeah,
on
I
with
just
you,
want to
man?
talk. I just wanted to talk Zelda, man. I hear you. Your name's EMP Triforce. So I mean, that says it all. So I mean, I assume you're a Zelda gamer or you're a Zelda fanatic. Am I right?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Empire.
yeah, I'm a Zelda fan. I'm a big Zelda fan. I followed the game since it's in the earliest titles that I possibly know, even titles that were actually there were no titles before I was born, but um, I even have the Zelda Game and Watch game. So
Oh
I've even
wow.
gone back. Yeah.
The
So
first one was
I
it was Legend of
the first
Zelda, right? Like that was the first one, or was it just called Zelda? I can't remember.
no, it's called The Legend of Zelda. None of the Zelda games are called like Zelda. It's just The Legend of Zelda, and the part two was called
Oh,
Zelda: The
Adventures of
Adventure
Link.
of Link. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. I looked at gameplay. That one was way before my time. But I wish I could have been, here back then to actually like go through all the changes of the game. Because from starting from 1980 till 2014, like from the first game till now, like there's just been so many dramatic changes, and I would just love to been able to be through every single one of them. And that's something that I really I'm envious about older gamers.
No, there's nothing to be envious. Trust me, there's nothing to be envious about. The experiences that you missed back then, you can get those experiences on the Nintendo Wii U, the Virtual Console. So it hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, I'm kind of envious of you guys because with you guys don't suffer uh, you don't suffer the problems that we did back then. We suffered because we had to sift through all the trash. That's the problem. So there was like 700 games on the NES, right? But about only 100 of them are I'm
Right.
probably exaggerating, but like 200 of them are good. So you still have like 500 games that are garbage. And the thing with the virtual consoles is that they only bring the good games on, so
Hmm.
you don't go through that problem. So
Right.
you're good to go. Trust me.
Yeah, that is a good point, though. That is a good point.
And Mewtwo
What's
King
your
is fighting
favorite
for
Zelda
answers
so
right now.
far?
My favorite Zelda so far, and see, and this is a big question because I have. I'm sorry. I apologize for yawning, guys. Just to let you know, it's like what 4:51 here in France because I'm actually still in France right now. Um, but I have mood swings when it comes to Legend of Zelda because it depends. These aren't. It's not like a puzzle game or a platforming game, so to speak. It's a um, the games are big adventure games. So because they're huge adventure games, it takes a lot to keep playing the same adventure over and over again to find out which one you are you're in love with. So it changes for me. So the one is consistent that I can keep playing the most is Zelda 1. Um, so if I had to choose between all the Zelda games, it would be Zelda 1. However, I love them all equally as a series because I
Right.
don't like playing just Zelda 1 over and over again. The one that I
Mhm.
really enjoyed the most recently was obviously A Link Between Worlds. That one was like a mixture of Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and what's the name of this thing here? Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and A Link to the Past all together. A little bit with Majora's Mask and also
Ocarina of
what's
Time.
the name of this game? Ocarina of Time. Yeah. So it's like this Zelda game like really brought together a lot of all the games that made the franchise great. So
Hmm.
I can't even complain. It was a very great you know series to play. This particular game is ridiculous. Like I'm telling you right now, this game is crazy. Have you guys played it?
Which
I
one?
No,
haven't got a chance to touch it
A
yet.
Link Between Worlds.
A
Oh
Link
no.
Between.
Yeah,
I like how
you
they
guys,
went with the throwback hieroglyphics though. I don't
yeah.
I can't remember where they started though, but I believe the first time I saw them was on Wind Waker at the beginning of the game when they
Yes,
talked about the hero time, the hieroglyphics when you
mhm.
transform from like 3D Link to flat Link, and you can walk through walls and stuff. I recognize that those are the same hieroglyphics
It
from
is.
Wind Waker. It is.
Yeah, it is. It is the same icon. In fact, if you go to your Link's house, you'll see the Majora's Mask on the wall. So
Oh, okay.
like they incorporated a lot of Easter eggs, concepts, and engines from the previous Zelda games, and then put them using the main Zelda Link to the Past engine. And it's the direct sequel. This is the second Zelda game to have a direct incorporated sequel, from what I know. Well, let me double check here. Well, unless you know, because there was a break in between that, so you wouldn't even count that. Unless you're gonna count Wind Waker and Phantom of the Hourglass, which that's speculation. But the only two Zelda games that we know that are direct sequels are literally Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 on the NES, and
Hmm.
then a Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds. Those are the only
Oh, okay.
two actual like direct sequels. The rest
Yeah,
are
like they follow
broken
each
up in
other.
the timeline. Yeah,
Oh,
those
okay.
games follow each other directly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Awesome, awesome, man. You guys seem like y'all could talk about Zelda all night, man.
Bro, I for real
For
can,
real.
man. Zelda, that game on the GameCube, man, that was like the first like that was kind of like my first taste of what like other than Link to the Past. I actually played Link to the Past after I played Wind Waker because the Wii was already out and you could get older games on the Wii. You had like the Wii Classic controller, and so I went ahead and bought A Link to the Past on the Wii Marketplace. I believe that's what it was called back then. I don't know, but yeah, and just seeing like how they like the differences and things like that, I was just like, man, I was just so blown away because it was I was fortunate enough to be actually be able to play it, and so that's one thing I really appreciate about Nintendo doing is that you could play throwbacks, on a newer gen console. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Gio, man, you've been quiet up in here, but you're more of a esports type of gamer too. So go ahead, get your input in on the topics that we got going in. What's up?
All right. Well, let me start by saying, Mr. Triforce, I am, what's the word of it? I'm kind of like, let's see, hold
A
on.
fan?
Oh yeah, there we go.
He's like starstruck right now. He's like, oh my god.
No, no, I'm playing the stupid phone game. It's pissing me off. But yeah, I'm a fan of you and your fighting game team. I follow part of the fighting game community. I'm from Houston, Texas, and there's a pretty good fighting game scene here. I'm just pretty much like one pretty much I'm trying to ask is no, it's not like that. I'm pretty focused on this phone game. I'm losing and it's really pissing me off. But Yeah, I wanted to know what is your take on the whole fighting game scene? Pretty much where things are leading with new kind of events and different organizations coming in to a help the scene a little bit more sponsorships and stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
Well, fighting games. What people need to understand when it comes to esports, first of all, they need to understand the fundamental concept of esports. Esports is just another way of saying competitive gaming. The terminology esports, where it came from, was used because people who wanted to advance competitive gaming, were looking outside of the gaming industry for sponsors to help sponsor or get investors actually at first. To In order for them to do it, they needed a terminology, a keyword, a term in which that yeah that what would be the word for this, that an investor or a sponsor will be comfortable with. When you say competitive gaming and you say video games, you have to keep in mind that 10 years ago, when you say video games, no one takes you seriously.
No,
Yeah.
So when you say esports, and they think esports, you think it's sports, right? You're not really thinking. They go, what the E means? Electronic sports. So it was to try to a play on words to try to make people outside of gaming feel a little bit more comfortable in investing into. So that's where the word came
It
from,
kind of gave it more credibility. That's what it was.
which it didn't
try to
need.
give it a little.
Yeah, they didn't want to, because if you say video, oh, these guys are video gamers and all that, so you kind of have a negative connotation that goes with that sometimes.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. But it's just competitive gaming. That's the truth about it. It's just competitive gaming. So it, um, it was founded by Walter Day in the 80s, competitive gaming as a whole, with Twin Galaxies, which became the first adjudicating organization to track high scores, championships, and head-to-head, competition in some of the games. Well, back then, head-to-head wasn't really that popular because the games didn't really have that much head-to-head until like the late 80s going on 90s, when they started introducing some of the fighting games and things like that. So like when Tetris, the arcade, came out, it had a head-to-head
That was
competition,
head-to-head,
and
yeah. Competition. Yeah.
Street Fighter One and Fatal Fury and stuff like that. But like in the early '80s, head to head was really like, you put a Donkey Kong machine next to a Donkey Kong machine, and two people were playing and going against the high score back then. But Walter Day, his job was to pretty much get the games together and track all the scores. He got video games to be on the first world championship, first broadcasted on ABC's That's Incredible, where we've got our first official commercial world champion with what's this guy's name? Ben Gold. Guys like Todd Rogers, who even predate Walter Day by 2 years or so, was a competitive gamer way before that. He was a professional gamer. He had video game companies paying him to display the newest games at trade shows back then, and they would pay him like $4,000 on a weekend. $4,000 back in the '80s was ridiculous.
It's
So
ridiculous. That's
you,
still
you
money for
can,
me.
yeah, and it's still ridiculous now, but
Yeah.
you get the point. So that is pretty much what esports is in terms of, to answer your question directly now. And there's a reason why it went through that whole thing. It's just
Hmm.
to give you an understanding of
Of
the
what it
origin, so that
is.
when I answer the question, you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Fighting games has always been esports. In fact, all forms of competitive gaming has been esports. Once you create a tournament and you put it in a public space and it is open to the public, it is esports. Now, if you have your house and you're inviting your friends over, they come and they play little video games here and there. No, it's not esports. It's just you
Yeah,
having
that's
people over
casuals.
as just casuals. But
Yeah.
if you back then, the venues were the arcades. Well, actually, the venues started off as the arcades.
Yes.
Then the venues changed from arcades to hotels. Then it changed from hotels to convention centers. And now, as you've seen as of last year in America anyway,
Stadiums.
it's now stadiums.
Stadiums.
So
Yeah.
uh, what we have witnessed in the last 30 is the evolution of competitive gaming known as eSports. So in terms of like where's fighting games gonna go, fighting games is gonna get as big as League of Legends. Just not all fighting games are gonna. It's gonna be a select two. I tell you one thing: Smash Brothers is definitely gonna
Oh,
make
It is
it.
yep.
getting
That's for
big.
sure.
Rising. It's always, yep.
You
It's
know what?
rising.
And we'll take that into segment into something else we can talk about here. Since you brought up Smash Brothers,
Mm,
that brings in the topic of Nintendo. You close with Nintendo and their goings ons and their businesses and what they're doing. I had a question for you because, from my perspective, Nintendo is awesome. I mean, the games are great.
mm,
People love them. They're a lot of fun. They bring back a lot of memories, and old school gamers and new school gamers alike can adapt and play the games and enjoy them. But I feel as if Nintendo made a mistake somewhere to where like they seem like they're the butt of everyone's jokes now, and they seem like
mm,
everyone wants to say Nintendo's not doing this, Nintendo's not next gen, Nintendo's not doing this well. And from what the kind of work I do and what I see on a daily basis, I think their mistake was in marketing. I don't know if you agree with that, but I can give you an example here. I go to a
mhm,
customer's house doing my job, see him all the time, and I had a guy tell me, and I've seen this several times. He was a Nintendo fan. He had a Wii sitting in his house, right? And he goes,
mhm,
"Man, I love the Wii. It's great, man. I'd rather play this than anything else. And all the games on here are fun. My kids can play it. I can play it, and it's great." And I said, "Oh, really? Why didn't you get the Wii U, man?" He was like, "Oh, that tablet. I didn't want that. I didn't need tablet. I got an iPad." And I said, "No, the Wii U. That was the next generation of that console you're playing there, the Wii." He said, "Really?" He's like, "It's like part two." Like I said, "Yeah, like 360 to Xbox One. That's the Wii to the Wii U." He had no clue, man.
mm.
So I was
Well,
like, "Oh, go
well,
ahead, bro."
I'm sorry. Well, all right. It's not that Nintendo has made any mistakes in terms of marketing. Nintendo doesn't. It's not Nintendo. The problem here is it's the media. It's obvious. Before I used to wonder sometimes myself. Something maybe like we're not being like Nintendo's not being accountable for blah 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 whatever the case may be, but that's not the case. The reality is that you have a lot of the media that puts Nintendo in a negative light. It's very difficult for Nintendo to be able to showcase what they're trying to do. And the only people that know what Nintendo's trying to do are really Nintendo fans that's into Nintendo. That's why, like, when people look at it, everyone's like, I'll give you an example. When they made the Wii and they made the motion sensor, everyone dogged it, said Nintendo's stupid, Nintendo's out of touch, they need to go online. That this motion sensor nonsense just goes to show that Nintendo's not even their mind's not even in the right, blah blah blah, whatever. Then the other two follow right behind Nintendo, and then the Wii goes on to sell 100 million units, ushering in an entire new demographic of gamers and fitting the casual market properly, more so than the PlayStation 2 ever did. Because the PlayStation 2 didn't really fit the casual market like how everyone thought it was going to do. What the PlayStation did was the PlayStation 2 made PlayStation and PlayStation 2 made gaming cool. It was something you accepted because Sony was telling everyone that the PlayStation isn't a video game system. So Sony fought a social battle where it made you feel comfortable buying a video game system because it wasn't sold as a video game system. And then the courts was like, no, Sony, you're a video game system, idiots. And it is what it is. So people had to lie to themselves because they couldn't accept the fact that they're gamers. Because back then, if you were a gamer, you're considered a geek. If you're considered a geek, you're not down. Nintendo
Yeah.
fans are the purest gamers there are because we don't care what you think. We're real people. Like, we're real men and women, because like you don't determine how we look. We're not insecure. We're gonna play. Like, I'm 36, I love Mario. What is another man gonna tell me that's gonna make me, oh, you a little kid? I'm gonna look at him like, are you kidding me? I travel more than you. I visit the world. I run my own video game team. I'm in Guinness Book of World Records for Mario Brothers. I don't care what you think about me. It doesn't
Hold
matter.
that.
But a Sony and Microsoft gamer cares about stuff like that. Oh, you buying a system and it's still in 720p? You don't get that 1080p? Man, like, Who cares? Your eyes don't even see 60 frames per second. So it's a lot of social garbage. They
Huh.
just crapped on Nintendo for a tablet, yet the other two systems interfaces are now stealing from the Nintendo Wii U. You see how much hypocrisy that is?
Yep.
When you look at the Nintendo Wii U, look at its interface, right? You got TV, Nintendo TV, you have YouTube, you have Skype, you have all this whatever, blah blah blah, right? And you look at the PS4 and the Xbox One, and it's the same thing. It's like, but they're crapping on Nintendo for going the tablet way, and then this is the funny part about it. Nintendo's not biting off tablet. Tablet's biting off Nintendo. Let me explain something to you guys, and this is why like a lot of like Sony and Microsoft fans don't like me. I'm
Oh, haters.
I yeah, I grew up with Nintendo. I know the entire industry because I literally was born into the industry and watched it grow. I play all games. I'm not a fanboy like that, which I only pick one side. And that's the reason why a lot of these fanboys get into bad arguments because they only know their side of the fence. They don't know the others. So they speak on ignorant matters. I do not. I've played them all. I just prefer Nintendo. So because I played them all, I know all of it. So when I hear them ranting their nonsense, I call them out on their BS and I give them the history lesson. Then they get schooled. Then they look stupid. Oh, Nintendo's biting off the tablet and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's try for schooling 101. The
Uh,
concept of the tablet came from Nintendo's concept of what they call connectivity. When Nintendo tried to merge their handheld to their console, they first started this with the controller to console with the Nintendo 64. Yes, people, 1997/98. The first form of connectivity for Nintendo was Pokemon Stadium, where you
oh
can
yeah.
use when you can use the information from your Game Boy games and you were able to put them on your memory card and put them up to your controller and then you could play them in. Nintendo then took that connectivity step a step further with the Nintendo GameCube. And when they stepped up, they stepped it up because they then took Zelda I made Four Swords Adventure, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, where your controllers was
Yeah.
your Game Boy itself.
Yeah.
So you had the display screen there and your menus and everything, and you were playing it from that standpoint. Then when Nintendo created the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii, they were supposed to then take that a step further, but they never did. There was rumors of a connectivity to connect your 3DS to your Wii. I don't know if any of you guys remember that,
I do.
but it never came through. And the reason why it never came through because Nintendo was like, listen, this doesn't make sense us keep trying to connect the Game Boy. We already tried controller to system, then we tried handheld to system. Now let's make a gamepad to system, i.e., the tablet. So Nintendo didn't take no concept from anyone. Nintendo already had their own concept. The only concept of the touchpad, they just took the touchpad off the 3DS and put it on the gamepad itself. And now we have the true connectivity Nintendo was trying to show everyone going back to the 64. Then everyone rants on Nintendo for it, but then the PlayStation 4 makes a touchpad on it. Man, listen, these are jokes. When I see them online, I laugh. I don't get involved in these system wars because the real Nintendo fans know the deal. When the Wii started out, the first year and a half, the Wii U got bopped in sales. Sales weren't all that great, blah, 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 until Nintendo dropped Smash Brothers Brawl. And then from there, they went ham hocks. And then when they started dropping all their big titles, when um, Mario Galaxy dropped and Mario Kart, and when they started dropping their games,
Twilight Princess.
no, Twilight Princess it launched with it, so it gave it a good launch, much like how New Super Mario Brothers Wii it came out and Nintendo Land. Those were like the to position Nintendo in a good entry. And now they're here. When Brawl drop, no, when Smash for You drops, When a new Zelda drops, when Metroid drops, when a Golden Sun drops, when a Pokemon drops, when a Star Fox drops, when an F-Zero drops, it's a wrap.
It's a
Nintendo,
wrap, dude. Like I haven't got my Wii U, but I'm like my Wii U. The game I'm going after is X. That game X, like the Xenogears or whatever game. When
yeah,
that drops, it's a wrap. When they drop not the Pokemon, but the new Smash Brothers, it's over. When they
yeah,
drop Mario Kart 8, oh my gosh, dude. They
exactly. Like
They've been killing
Nintendo
it with
does
the
it.
Nintendo Directs. The Nintendo Directs have been really good the last couple times, and they've gotten me
Mhm.
more and more hype every time. And then the what's the game you're looking up, Blitz? The Zelda game.
Oh, the Hyrule Warriors or whatever, something
Yeah,
like that. I don't know if
yeah.
that's the official name for it, but
It's a tentative.
that's
It's a
what.
tentative name. It's a tentative name. I'm like, Nintendo does not need third party. They don't. They really don't. Like so when people go, oh, they don't have any third party titles. So what? For the last 20 years, people have been buying Nintendo systems for Nintendo games. So who cares? Like, I don't buy a Nintendo system looking for third party. Third party sucks. Seriously speaking, third party sucks. I don't expect anything good from third party when it comes to Nintendo because they're biased. Those guys, they don't. Nintendo creates a platform where they can think outside of the box and create something new. And all these guys do is create the same garbage with better power every single generation. Nothing new. Like, okay, here's an example, right? A game like Titanfall. Would that game not be ridiculous on the Wii U?
It would be
That shit would
on
be
that little
godlike.
thing. Yeah, that would probably be tight. Yeah.
It would actually be better than the Xbox One version. But, well, and then you know what people's going to complain
I wouldn't
about?
know. I
Because
haven't
this,
played it yet, but yeah.
What makes you say it'd
this
be better than the Xbox One version? I'm just curious
because it
because
has a gamepad. That's why. Your entire
Ah,
your mech can be your mech's entire inventory and management system can be done from the gamepad. You can have a yeah, listen. You see, this is the thing. Like, this is why I said, like, the Wii U. The Wii U is the Super Nintendo. People do not understand. Nintendo just found a way to trick everybody back in time. The Super Nintendo, when it first launched, it wasn't all that great. But when that Zelda dropped after that, and then they got a Styanax, they got Cybernator, and they started Contra 3, and all those games started coming out, Super Nintendo went ham. All we're waiting for is when Nintendo finally makes. Can you imagine Metroid, the new Metroid now with that
Pe-
gamepad?
People are waiting for it, man. They keep saying when is Metroid coming? They
Oh,
keep asking.
they're already working on it. And when the new Metroid comes, I can see the entire. This is where the next Metroid. You heard it here first on your what's your podcast called?
Inside my mind.
inside
Inside
my
my mind. You
Yep.
heard it here first. Triforce is telling you right
man,
now, the greatest
exclusive.
Metroid game will be created on the Wii U. And I can explain to you why. Because for the first time, because of the Wii U's infrastructure, Nintendo has the technology to give you the old and the new merged into two because when you play the game, you can play it like Metroid Prime on a TV, and when you need to do the intricate puzzle, it can go into 2D on your pad. So you're playing the Metroid of yesterday in today's Metroid. That's like putting another M into Prime at the same time. But when you have
Man,
to do like stage puzzles, like when you turn into a ball, it zooms in and goes into your gamepad, and then you can play whatever puzzle part you need to play into the entire game or what, and it can show you what it looks like in 3D on the main TV screen. But when you have to go back into shooting mode, then you pop back out onto your display screen on the television, and you can go back into the game with all the functionalities of a touchpad. That's going to be ridiculous.
That
Can you
that
is
would
imagine
sick.
Starbucks with that? Come
That is
on,
sick.
man. Listen, let's not even talk about Golden Sun. Let's not talk about role playing games on
golden
the
eye.
Wii. Those games are going to completely scrape everyone because of that touchpad. The same touchpad everyone's calling a gimmick. When these developer Nintendo has to set the mark because third party sucks. They never want to be adventurous and think outside of the box. And actually, I don't know why there isn't a Final Fantasy title even being thought up the minute they announced the gamepad, I would have been like, oh, free. I'm like, why isn't Madden two-player gamepad where you can call your plays from your playbook right there? Why isn't there
on the
NBA 2K
pad.
where you can call your playbooks from your gamepad?
Check
Like,
this out though. This is the problem right here. They keep on
mhm.
people want to hate on that. Like I'm not big into Nintendo. I will play it and I like it, but I'm not like I don't hate on any console. Like, but what you have to realize is this: people keep saying, "Oh, you got the gamepad and it's nothing. Nobody cares to use that. I want to play my controller." But what is every console doing now? What is Xbox doing? Smart glass.
Yeah,
You
of
know what I mean?
course.
That's
No,
they got the game right there. You play with your controller. Then you get the smart glass out. Oh, and you get to be the drone in a division. You get to be the drone that helps over all your team while they're playing on your iPad or your iPhone. That's the same thing as
it's hip.
the tablet.
It's hip. It's hypocrisy. They said the same thing about the Wii when they came out with the Wii control pad stick. It was like, what is this? But then PlayStation made Move, and then Microsoft went to Connect, which is just a Nintendo's U Force.
Yep.
Like none of these guys are innovating anything, man. Like let's cut it out. Nintendo's the innovators. They've made it. Everybody's now biting their style. Like Nintendo's like Nas. They love their style. They just hating on them, trying to wish them dead. And Nintendo, did you see the thing when they was like, oh, Nintendo lost all this money?
Yeah.
First of all, people don't even know how to
No.
read this thing properly. Nintendo
No.
didn't lose any money. Nintendo just never made their projected mark. Means if Nintendo goes, all right, we're going to launch the Wii U, and by September of next year, we're going to sell 10 million units with a profit of blah, 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 blah. That September comes up, we only sold 6 million units and we only made this amount of profit. They didn't go negative. They just
Nope.
didn't reach the they set. That's not the end of the world. It just means they didn't. That's like you going to your job and you got there late. That doesn't mean you're not going to get paid for the day. You just won't get paid the maximum amount for the work day. That's it. But you still get paid.
That's the
That's not a
thing.
negative thing.
People like to be sheep. I've noticed, man. Like you notice they can't come up with their own ideas now, and they disregard what's not popular to talk about. So if it's popular to talk about Nintendo, everyone's gonna jump down Nintendo's throat. It's funny. It's popular to talk about. Okay, but then they say it doesn't have any money. But who's in the red? What company is struggling?
Every
Sony.
com-
Sony
every
is
company
dying.
every company outside of Nintendo for the last 30 years have went into the red. Nintendo is the only company that profits off of its games and its system. It is the only company that continues to profit. Sony just had to cut so many jobs. There's an article that they did on gamers where they said Nintendo can lose $250 million from now until 2052 and still be in business
That's crazy.
Damn.
Man.
and still be in business. That's how much bread Nintendo has. So Nintendo ain't got nothing to worry about it. And whenever Nintendo's losing any money, yo, Mario, get the gang together. Yo, we gotta drop a new game. And that's it. And then people are, oh man, you see, that's what I don't like about Nintendo. Nintendo rehashes the same old games over and over and over again. You mean Call of Duty? You mean Madden? You mean like come on, let's not talk about rehashes, please. Because
Assassin's Creed.
come on,
Oh my
exactly. Like
god, that's a big one.
everybody rehashes everyone. So let's not talk about who's rehashing stuff. Like I just hate when they're biased. That's the problem. These guys are biased, and
Yep.
and um and that's why I don't get into these little arguments. When Smash drops, it's a wrap for these guys. When Metroid and Zelda drops, it's a wrap for these guys. First of all Nintendo has to do is bundle these systems and they come off the shelves. That's it. And then and it's good because a lot of people didn't buy the Wii U like that. So now here's their reason to buy one because Nintendo's gonna package the game as the reason.
Yep.
Right. I got a quick question though. Back when you were talking about Metroid Prime, you said this is how they're with the new Metroid Prime coming out, they're gonna have the innovation with the new or the old mixed in with the new.
Mhm.
A couple of things like that are already in the works or are already have been done. For example, Wind Waker came out on the GameCube first, then they remade it
Yeah,
HD version into
that what
the
now.
Wii U.
Let me cut you off for a second. Let me cut you off for a second. Now, this is a little secret from my end. People should have known right there that was Nintendo doing a test of how they would make their games to use the connectivity of the Wii U gamepad. without having to make a brand new game. That what
Hmm.
you saw in Wind Waker, when the next Zelda game comes out, it's going to be a more refined version of that, but a brand new Zelda game.
Right. That does
Oh
make
my!
more sense though, because it does sound like when you think about it, it didn't. They didn't go crazy with it. All they did was they put your item screen and your inventory screen on the pad while you could still play on your TV, so you didn't necessarily have to pause to switch out your inventory. Like you could put the Y button, let's say for instance, could be like your grapple hook. You could switch
Yep.
that with some bombs with the pad without pausing. So I guess you could. I guess I can see, yeah, where you're saying, that's just a little test. That makes total sense. That's
They
genius.
even they even they even did it on the Nintendo 3DS version. It's the same concept. So can you imagine what Nintendo's going to be doing when they can you imagine what Nintendo's actually going to be doing when they do the next Fire Emblem or the next man, Metroid and Golden Sun and Earthbound and man, it's gonna get crazy. When
Hmm.
Nintendo is going to go ham. Nintendo has enough intellectual property to literally power the entire Wii U for the next 6 years without third party help.
No, Nintendo's never needed third party help. It's just most gamers, or like you said, are casual nowadays. They would like more third party support on Nintendo. That would
Of
bring
course we
them
do.
more casual. That's all it is.
But it would be nice if third party would stop being biased and help Nintendo and stop being like, like there's games third party have that they know for a fact. Like, come on, like, let's be realistic here, third party. Stop, come on, man. Like, these games are better to go on the Wii U than the other systems, and you don't put them on. Why? Because what you trying to be, or you trying to stay into the cool crowd? Is that what it
Yeah,
is? Yo,
and,
oh
and
man,
and they can't. They don't let them tell you that. Oh, we can't run it on the Wii U. You're not right now. The games that are even coming out for Xbox One, just like I was saying earlier, there has not been a real next gen game yet. None of them. They not even this Infamous that just came out. That Infamous that just came out. If you
you could
play
have run that
Infamous
on the
two,
PS3.
you could. That's exactly what I said. The
You
Dead
play that on
Rising
the
three.
PS3.
The Dead Rising three. The graphics weren't that much better than anything on 360. Only thing that difference was the amount of zombies that they had on the screen. They couldn't have probably put
Hmm.
those and kept the game at 30 frames per second on the 360, but other than that, it would have been perfectly fine. Rise, really good graphics, so those probably wouldn't have run on the 360. But other than that, it's not too much, man. It's nothing. They're not doing anything crazy yet. So when they sit there and say they can't do it for the Wii U, they can, dude. Look at that
Yeah, they
game.
just don't want to.
That game X looks crazy. That looks better than most games right now on next gen. X looks ridiculous.
Oh well, it doesn't matter. Nintendo's gonna come out with their game, and that'll just be their games, and that'll just be that. And I'm not worried about it.
We did have a
So
question from Zobi70, one of the other co-hosts. He was saying, "What do you think about this year's E3? Because last year Nintendo skipped out. Hopefully this year they show up and
Nintendo didn't skip out. Nintendo made their segment in E3 private. It was only for the people that they invited and true hardcore like Nintendo fans. Which I hope they do that this year again. And I'll explain to you why. Because it may sound like all depends on what you know, and when you don't know certain things, it comes off wrong. But last year when Nintendo did the segment in at E3, and it people didn't know because it was closed off. The reason why they close it off is because you have a lot of media, and their only purpose to go to the Nintendo booth is to clown Nintendo. They're not there objectively. They're not there as press or journalism. They're there to assassinate Nintendo's integrity or their image. That's it. That's the only reason they go there. Nintendo's making a new Mario Kart game all over again. See, this is what I'm talking about. Blah blah blah. Negative, negative, negative. So the way Nintendo looks at it, okay, well, if that's all you're gonna do, I tell you what, we'll save you the problem. Don't worry about it. You're not invited. These are not your games, and we'll invite the world. And how does Nintendo invite the world? They're the only company using their video game systems to invite you to E3 via Nintendo Direct. Yet no one sees that. Like no one sees how godlike that is. The casual person who cannot go to E3 can get the entire inside scoop directly from the executives of Nintendo themselves via Nintendo Direct. Who does that? Who else does that? Who else services the community and their fans directly like Nintendo? No one. But no one talks about these things. It's just crazy. Like the only people that know is Nintendo fans, and Nintendo is very comfortable knowing that their fans are aware of this and their fans can accept this. So Nintendo just goes about their business. Then the industry says, "Oh, Nintendo's conceited because they're not, taking the blah." Nintendo, don't listen to the industry. They're just trying to kill you. They don't even like you. Listen to your fans. We are a okay with what's going on. I didn't even like the fact that I dislike the fact that Awada-san cut his pay in half. I was like, for what? Because third party didn't help you? Nintendo did everything in their power to for their Wii U for 2012 and 2013. Everything in their power. They released the game that they were supposed to release, and when they dropped Zelda at the end of the year, as you guys know within last month's report, Nintendo balanced themselves out at the beginning of this year. Why? Because they dropped Zelda Wind Waker bundle pack last year free. So I'm like, and they were going and they were coming in. They were going to close out the year terrible. Now, if they balanced their year out with a remake, a port game, can you imagine what's going to happen when they drop Smash? It's over, B. This is a wrap. This is a done deal. Nintendo is Michael Jordan, and right now the Bulls are down by 2, and they need a 3 to win the game, and the ball's in Jordan's hands. What do you think's going to happen? Come on, man. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic here.
Yeah, it looks it
But
looks it looks promising.
I think another reason why Nintendo doesn't really care about their other like the other people is that because their fan base is already so huge. Like, I mean, if you think about it, isn't Nintendo kind of like the oldest cats out there, like gaming wise anyway? I mean, who's
Yeah,
older than them? So I
no
mean,
one.
their fan base goes back to people maybe even older than you are. So with their fan base so huge, they don't really need to focus. They don't really need to make profit in those other areas. With like Sony fans or yeah, Sony fans and Microsoft fans, maybe they just want to focus on their own fan base. That's why they're putting so much attention and effort into you guys, pretty much. The fanboys of Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. Why waste time on trying to convert? Convert what? Man, listen, I wouldn't even want Sony fans in Nintendo, honestly. Like, I can deal with Sega fans. I love Sega fans. At least they were good rivals. But, like, no. First of all, most Sony gamers aren't even gamers. They're consumer electronic. They're consumer. We call them electronic consumers. I'm sorry. It's a consumer electronic company, but they're just electronic. They don't care. They just want to be known for having the latest technology or whatever. You guys know what consumerism is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they all when you look at Sony, they just have they use the consumerism element for their system. When you really look at what they're doing, because none of that stuff even means anything. When you look at what they're doing, what does it mean, honestly? Like people arguing about technology that's like is meaningless, it's marginable. You can't even like all of this garbage about 1080p and like listen, like no one cares, honestly. I'm tired of surreal realistic graphics. I'm like, if I want to do that, I watch a Michael Bay movie. Like realistically speaking, like this CG better than everything on these video game systems. I'd rather see some nice colorful artistic thing that Nintendo can come up with that's different, man. I'm tired of this same garbage. People talk about, oh, Nintendo does the same old. Yet, no, they don't. They're the only one trying something different. Everyone is doing the same crap. Every game looks like Gears of War.
Very true, man. Very true.
Word
That's what I
up.
say about a lot of them. They're not living up to the hype anymore. They're not living up to their hype that they promote before the game comes out. The game comes out with all
Actually,
this acclaim and hype, and then it comes out and you play it, and it gets you. You get a honeymoon phase for about a week, and you're like, man, this got weak quick. You know what I mean? It's like you play it for so long and you're like, this stuff it's repetitive, it's boring, it looks cute and it looks nice, it looks stylish, but then it kind of dies out after a while. It's like that's what they put all their emphasis on: no story, no character development, no
No.
gameplay, no nothing. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
Why
Titanfall.
would they, why would they want to
I
do it?
remember I remember you talked about on that podcast you were on with these guys when we were talking about Zelda. You brought up one of my favorite games, and we'll kind of end on this segment here. We'll let everybody give a little talk about a few games that they can remember playing and how the stories impacted them. But you talked about Legacy of Kain. I don't know if you
Oh
remember
man,
that. Man, you
yeah.
brought up some stuff in Legacy of Kain, dude. Like the thing that sucks that I'm really envious about with people that game sometimes is I guess when I was younger I'd play games and I loved them and I played them and had fun, but I didn't really remember a lot of the stuff from them. Like now, I can't pull back those memories. Like you were bringing up stuff in Legacy of Kain, things that what was his name? Like Razel. What was his name in there? I forgot.
Raziel and Kane.
Raziel.
Right.
You brung up some quotes that he said, and I was like, damn, how does he remember that shit, man? I can't even remember
Because
that shit.
I'm an old man. That's why.
But I remember that too. I mean, you only got me by what, like 5 or 6 years, I think. But I was like, man, I can't remember. I can't remember the stuff that he was saying in that game. But I remember playing the game and I remember loving it. You know, what I mean, I have that memory and that experience. But it's just I want to go back and play some of those old games I played, man. Like Legacy of Kain is definitely one of them. I don't know if you, Gio, or Blitz ever played that game, but it
I
is
never even
fucking.
heard of
Yeah,
that shit.
It's
Legacy.
fucking.
Oh
That game
Yeah.
man,
is awesome, man. I'm
don't even
telling
know what
you.
you guys miss. Like when Blood Omen came out on PlayStation, that game was ridiculous. Kane Victus, the game was ridiculous. And then Eidos did a great job working on that game. Um, and it would like these guys have to understand. Like a lot of these guys, these third party people, listen to this, third party guys. The mature content games that you make, let me show you how you guys got gassed by the media. Media told you, don't make no games for Nintendo. Their demographic is all kids. Really? Answer this. Answer this very honest and common. This is a common sense question. How can the Nintendo's demographic only be children when the entire generation of gamers now playing today's games grew up on it?
Not possible.
Not possible. Yeah.
If you were playing Nintendo in the late '80s, early '90s, did you not age?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when they tell,
They
so
found the
I'm a
fountain of
Nintendo,
youth, man.
so I'm a Nintendo gamer, and I want to play some of these godlike games, right? That are mature, but I can't because they won't put them on Nintendo, and they go, "Well, you're grown. Why are you buying a Nintendo?" And I'm like, "Because it's a video game system. Why don't you buy an adult system?" You know what that sounds like? I'm sure you how stupid the industry is. That's like going into a store and I buy a Tootsie Roll. Someone goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What? I'm buying a Tootsie Roll." "Why are you buying a kid's candy? Buy a Snickers." It's
Man.
candy.
Yeah, it's all candy. Yeah,
Like, are you stupid? Like, what type of stupid nonsense is that? It's candy. Oh, well, why are you buying a Nintendo? It's a video game system. Why don't you buy a PlayStation for it? That's for adults. It's a video game system. The job of the system is to spin the disc. That's it. The Sony PlayStation isn't for mature audience. The PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Wii U, their job is to spin a disc. That's it. Any disc. Even porn. You get a DVD and you put it in, it'll run it. That's its job. It's not like you idiot. Like that's so dumb. It's that stupidity that the fanboys get caught up in. That's why they don't see the good games that come out because you're into. I'm not buying a Nintendo system. It has a bunch of kiddie games on it. What? A bunch of kiddie games. Listen, if you want to keep it that real, then don't buy any video games. Go help your neighborhood by helping develop it and keeping the crime down. Go join the military or become a politician and help the world from hungry people from starving. Go do something real. Put down the controller since you want to be an adult. Go do something in real life. Go raise a family. And then you're sad
Uh,
because when you're raising a family, you'll end up buying a Wii because you can't buy kids and the negative stuff anyway, and go play a nice little family oriented game with your wife and your children. Like it's a lot of social garbage. Like people just need to cut it out for real. Like I don't even get into those stupid arguments or anything. Whenever I see any of those people come up to me, I just look at them like, listen, I'm not 12. You can't beat me in the head with this garbage. Get out of my face.
So did you two have any games like that you remember playing, but you wish you can go back and play because you can't really, you had good memories playing it. You know what I'm saying, but you don't really remember all the
Dog.
stuff.
Number
man,
one on my list would be Star Wars Battlefront. That
man,
game, man. That game made me so hype. The first one, and the cool thing about it that they did with Star Wars Battlefront was that you only played with the droids or the stormtroopers, and that made you want more because what was Star Wars all about? It was about the Force.
Jedi,
It was
yeah.
about the lightsabers, the Jedi. Yup, and that made you want more. And so they were like, okay, now that we got him hooked, we're gonna reel him in with Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was when they introduced you could actually be the either like a Jedi or a Sith Lord. I remember, God, which one? Who just played that? Star Wars. I thought I heard some Star Wars stuff. That was
That was
funny.
me.
But when they introduced that and that alone got it for me. So if they did that again on maybe something even stronger, like PS4 or Xbox One or even the Wii U, like that's something I'd get right away. Like I wouldn't need to see any reviews. I wouldn't need to if they revamped it, I'd be fine with it. Like
Nice.
seriously, like let's be serious. That game was amazing.
What about you, Jill?
That's me. That's it.
see, off the top of my head, let's see. One of my favorite games that I can't remember, but I love to go back and play. That's
Yeah.
that's the
It's
question.
like it's like you
Man,
remember you have fun playing it, but you don't really remember everything, like all the stories, the characters, or something
yo,
like that.
the first Metroid on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Super
That
Metroid.
man,
I'm telling you,
Super
I'm telling you.
Metroid. That was my favorite.
Well, guess
Oh
what? When
my.
the Wii U's Metroid come out, that's what you're gonna be playing, B. It's
Oh,
about to get
I'm a cop it.
serious.
I'm definitely gonna cop it.
Or even Mega Man, dude. Oh my God, Mega
Oh my!
Man.
See,
Yeah.
this one.
Mega Man
Can you
X.
imagine?
Mega Man
Can you
X.
Man,
Oh,
can you imagine Mega Man now on the Wii U? You know this game called Mighty Number
I
Nine.
was just about to say it. I can't wait for that, dude. I
Now,
can't
guess what?
wait.
You do know that the Wii U is going to be the better version because you can. First of all, the game is Mega Man. That's really what it is.
It
But the
is.
difference is you do not have to pause the game to manage your character. You can switch
oh,
right into your weapons directly from the touchpad. And Capcom is making some game that plays like Mega Man on the 3DS. I just forgot the name of it. I saw it. You're not a robot. You're a human being. Like you're
I
a
feel like I
person or
just
whatever.
heard about that. I do feel like I heard about something like that. Capcom's making it though.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like a Mega Man X game, but the guy has like he does this thing and like all these weapons and stuff is coming out on the screen. It was ridiculous. I forgot the name of it. I saw it not too long ago, like last week.
Yep. Yeah. 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 Okay, we're
And,
talking about the same thing then. I
and
can't remember what that is either.
so
is
funny
this the
too.
main
Like,
character though?
Yeah, for Mighty Number Nine. Yeah, that's him.
yeah, Mighty Number
mm,
Nine. I saw that game too, and I thought I was like, yo, that's
He
Mega.
the guy who made that, he's the creator, I think, of Mega Man, and he kickstarted that game. So it was
yeah,
crowdsourced to make that game. He ended up making enough money to do it to make the game on like 360, PS3, Wii U, Xbox One, and PS4 and PC. He did it for everything, dude. He got
now
enough
watch
money.
this now. Watch this now. The one that's going to sell the most is going to be on the Wii U.
How much money are you putting on that, Triforce?
I put 100 on it.
Man,
Dang, he said that like with the
I put a
quickness.
hundred on it free. I
Okay.
bet you it sells out on
free
the Wii U.
10
Because you know
Mad.
what? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the main reason why. No one's gonna buy that game for the other systems. Because remember, that's a kids game, and everyone's gonna want to play their Call of Duty. What's this Ghost? They had Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, then Modern Warfare 2, then they had Black Ops, Black Ops 2. Okay, so the next one is Ghost 2. Everyone's gonna be playing Ghost 2. And yes, it's gonna be Ghost 2. Because it's a pattern, guys. If you haven't seen it, it's like the same garbage they spit out all the time. They make one version and then they make the sequel to it, and then they switch off to a new theme. They make a sequel to it. Then they switch off to a new
Then
theme.
you go
They make
back
a
to
sequel
it.
to
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and then when we get tired of the modern warfare, then it's gonna go back to Call of Duty World War, which was how they
Oh
started
my
off of.
god, I hope not.
I want to know what
Nah.
kid. I want to know what little kid can play the old freaking Mega Man games, dude. Those games are hard as hell, man. I
Bro.
remember Mega Man making
Yes.
you rage so bad, dude.
I
Oh,
I watched a video. It's this guy. He made this video series called Sequelitis or something like that, and he like specifically it was by Ego Raptor on YouTube, and he went through the entire Mega Man franchise. He went through entire Castlevania, and he pointed out little things that I didn't know back then. Now, like he pointed out how Mega Man would teach you how to play it like through the entire like from when you press start on Mega Man to when you get into the actual like game. Mega Man teaches you how to do certain things and like jump shoot beat the little bees and stuff like that on the highway. I can't
Oh,
remember
I
what
seen
level
that.
that
I seen
was.
that. Yeah, and he
Yeah,
was like,
wasn't that great?
he was, yeah, he was like, and he said, this game, it shows you in the game, you learn before you even go in. Like, obviously, you may have to double jump here. I saw that part, and he's like, where,
Yeah.
because he was trying to prove like today's games are completely stupid.
yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
they're dumb. Their games are made for dummies. They don't allow you to like. Oh man, listen. There's people. Now I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm not gonna say who. I don't want to blow the person up. But there are people in the fighting game community that do not know how to hold B so they can get a running start and press A to jump in Mario.
Man,
What?
somebody on EMP. That's all we already know it.
No, it's not. That's no one on the EMP. If I find out that you don't have that ability, I'll throw you out of EMP. Can't be in EMP, and you can't run and jump.
Contract.
That's God. Like you can't run a jump.
Oh.
You can't be an EMP. That's crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Sticks. If you haven't checked that out, Gio, if you haven't checked that out, his name's Ego Raptor. He's got a couple of vids up. Some are funny. The
they're funny.
sequelitis ones are funny. They're funny as shit, bro. I know Sticks will like the Castlevania one because that takes it back all the way. Um, but yeah, check those ones out. Those videos are funny as shit.
Oh, hold on. Let me see something. I think we got to tend to. Oh, let me see. Yo, Nintendo graphics would have to step up for Titanfall if they were to have that game. And then he said Mega Man X5 was sweet. Nintendo, Titanfall's graphics are not crazy, are they, Blizz?
I mean, let's put it this way. I can see Titanfall going to Xbox 360. Why they halted it, I don't know. I felt like it would have been fine with everything that the Xbox One did. Just if you lowered the frames per second, maybe because the Xbox 360, I mean, clearly it can't do everything the Xbox One can. So I mean, if they lowered some of the stats, some of the standards of the game, maybe that would have been fine. But I watched a video and it was the difference in graphics between I think it was Xbox One and PC, and they looked exactly the same. Like there was no difference. The only real thing Titanfall did for me that was like, wow, they stepped it up a little bit. Like, was that the whole thing that Titans versus humans, Titans versus Titans, like that, and that alone, that just did it for me. That was a great concept, and I hope future developers maybe do even go a step further with things like that. Um, but I kind of got bored of Titanfall already. Once I generated, I was done. I mean, I play it every now and then, but I wish they did a little bit more to it. That's one thing I don't I hate it. They could have did so much more, but that's it for me.
What can they do? What can they do in a traditional what more can they do in a traditional setting though? Like you can only
Like
play the
Titanfall
game.
2,
Uh,
you mean? Or what do you
That's a little too traditional, though, isn't it?
mean?
like it can't do but so much. Like is Titanfall? Who makes Titanfall?
Respawn.
Respawn Entertainment, the same people who made Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 4.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. If they were smart, they put that on a Wii U. If they don't, then they don't know what they're doing.
No, it's not coming
'Cause-
anywhere else. It was exclusive. Maybe Titanfall 2 will go somewhere else. But when EA published it, EA had the rights to do it. So and they bought it for a second time. So they went exclusively to Microsoft this first time around. So I don't think they
Okay.
will. But with that being said, we'll probably wind this down. I wanted to get into some other talk about maybe some of the things we have been doing this week, like some of the games we playing, animes we watched, different things. But I don't want to go too much into
Which
that
is?
because it's some spoilers. But because I was talking to these guys earlier, they haven't been reading the manga on Naruto, so they're not caught up. So
Oh, oh,
yeah,
they don't know about the eighth gate.
they don't know about it, dude. Hey,
Oh
when
man, Guy
you,
Sensei's going ham.
I know.
man,
Man, I'm so far
Yo,
behind. Like,
I
oh my
so
just
listen,
gosh.
I just
let's talk.
watched the
Let's
anime.
touch on this topic real quick. B. Come on, you can't. The people gonna be reading this podcast gonna be so tight that you even tease them and then you didn't even do it. B. You might as well finish it. You already brought it up. Come on, we can spend a good 20 minutes on this.
Man, I don't know, man. They don't know if I want the spoilers on them, man. They hate
Mm,
spoilers, man.
Go
That's not
ahead,
true.
go
That's a
ahead.
lie.
Let's think. Let's go ahead.
Okay, man. Well,
Go.
see, okay, so I can tell you where Blitz, you're far behind, but I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what me and Tenzer were talking about this Triforce. We were saying
Mm.
Madara is a goon. It's done. Madara's a goon, and then you got Minato. He's a beast, but now my man has no arms. So, and then I said Kakashi is a beast. So I said in this universe, I think those are the three strongest ninjas ever. That's what I have to say after based off seeing what I'm seeing, because check this
Yeah,
out. Kakashi, they tried to trick you and make you feel like oh Kakashi wasn't OP, right? They tried to tell you in the beginning Kakashi has
yeah.
all these jutsus, but the problem with him is he lacks stamina, so he can do this, but then he gets tired. But I'm telling you, Kakashi goes harder than anybody when he's damn near dead. Kakashi be almost
Except,
falling
except,
over and going hard as hell.
except for Guy Sensei.
Guy
Except
Sensei is
for Guy
cold.
Sensei.
That's the thing. But see,
And
this is what they say.
there's someone stronger than Guy Sensei. All right, first of all, the ninjas. I'm telling you right now, the ninjas are stronger than everyone. Is the kids? All of the kids are stronger than everyone. Gara, Naruto, Rock Lee, and Sasuke. Those are the strongest. They are because they're the next generation of the guys you see there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, Rock Lee is the true strongest.
Rock Lee's finna go hard now. He when what happened to Guy in this when what happens in the manga when he goes and opens the eighth gate, you already know what happens when you open the eighth gate,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so Rock Lee told my man just like this. He said, "I will not shed a tear out of respect for what he's doing right now." Rock Lee said he will not be sad about what's happening right now. So right off the jump, you already know Rock Lee's getting pissed. Rock
Now
Lee's
you know what's more telling than that?
what?
When Gara thought about it, when he's
Yes,
like, "Wait a minute, when I fought him back when we were younger,
in the Chunin
and he was
exams. Yep.
unconscious, he could have killed me.
Yes.
He could have bodied me, and
Yes.
and it was free. He only went the first gate on him, and Gara nearly got killed. Then he got up. Then Rockley got up unconscious and was going to go gate number two. Then Gara sitting there is like, and he was I call him Flash, Naruto's father, and he's like, don't be sorry that you can't go, like that. He said, don't be mad that you can't go eighth gate, and he's like, this is number six. And when he explained to Gara what the eighth gate is, he said it gives the person, it amplifies their power tenfold
Tenfold.
times ten, no, tenfold over
Yeah.
tenfolds.
Yep.
So he said it says it makes them stronger than 10 times stronger than an Hokage for a brief amount of time, but the strain on their body will eventually kill them. That means Naruto,
Equal to Kaioken, pretty much. But keep going.
Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara all have been fighting to become Hokages. When guys like Rock Lee and Guy Sensei, who have no intentions on becoming Hokages, have a form that makes them tenfold stronger than what they want to become.
He hit
Damn.
he hit Madara with one of these kicks, like this air something. I forgot what it was called. But Madara said, "I can't let him hit me with that again." That's
Yeah,
exactly what Madara said. I
I
can't
can't
let
let him
him
hit me
hit me with that again. I
that
have
again
to avoid it.
Get him with that flying
because
lotus.
No, it was some other crazy elephant air kick. I forgot what it
yeah,
was called, man. It was
it's
just,
elephant first step. And
dude.
he got he got ping pong. You know, so funny. Now, Flash is the fastest ninja
Yes.
in the history of Naruto. But when Guy went eighth gate, he appeared in front of Madara, and Madara had the like the Metal Gear Solid because he was like, that's how fast he moved. He's like, wait, you move
He said
faster
Metal Gear Solid.
because that's
Oh
what it
my
was. It was you had that on his top of his. He's like, what the hell?
Because
But like
if it was in a video, he was looking up, and then
he
boom,
was
in an
underneath.
instant, he was right there. He was okay. He couldn't even react to how fast he moved. It was impossible. If you literally tried to react, you would have been hit already, and then you would have
Yeah,
reacted to him seeing you, but you'd have been flying away. It'd have been stupid.
I was like,
dang.
Guy Sensei. Oh, I was like, yo, but yeah, what's gonna happen is Rock Lee, Guy Sensei is gonna die. Kakashi's gonna go all out. They're gonna go ham. They're gonna get mad powerful. They're gonna beat this version of him, but somehow, some way, Madara's gonna get this the last eye. When he gets the last eye, he's gonna get the what's the name of this thing here? The Sage of the Sixth Path. Then he's gonna body Guy, kill off Naruto's father, and Kakashi's gonna get killed, and it's gonna be up to the kids to get it done. And then Rock Lee's gonna open up the eighth gate. That's gonna be enough to weaken the path of the sixth sage, and then Naruto and Sasuke is gonna fuse on some Goku Vegeta joint and become like, just like you
What?
guys. Yeah, this is how they write their mangas. This is how they write their mangas. Like what I'm saying is nothing new. These guys, they don't actually write new stuff. Like the material is. Remember, the guy who writes Naruto is a Dragon Ball Z fan. So
Oh,
come on, look at when Naruto goes God mode. Look what he looks like.
yep,
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
like, come on, like, are you serious? And we all know that Sasuke is Vegeta. Like, come on, they even fuse their beasts, their tails, like whatever you call those thing, nine tails and whatever octopus guy. But like, um, it's just stupid. Like, but that's exactly what's gonna happen. And I would just like to see Jiraiya come back to life and say, "There's one more part that you guys do not know. This is the path that I've been trying to get. The blah blah blah. The Leaf and whatever clan must come together and do fuse, and they probably do a fusion dance and shit. Yeah, dance, which is what they was always trying to do this whole time to merge all the ninjas into one ninja. And at the end of Naruto, there's no more Leaf Clan. It's the Wind Leaf. It's one ninja clan. Blah blah blah. But Bleach, my man Kenpachi is about to put it down.
I mean,
They
oh
are
Bleach.
man.
I fell off on Bleach a long time ago, man. But I hear
oh,
everybody talking about Bleach that's going hard.
I
because
heard that they stopped the anime though. Like the anime was like
that
discontinued or whatever. But the
because
manga's
they
still ongoing.
Yep, because there is no way, there is no way, and the rock means no way.
Wait.
They're gonna be able, they're gonna be able to animate Yamaji getting killed and expecting people to watch. Nope.
Oh, the master, the grandmaster dude for all of them.
Yep, they killed him.
Yeah,
You mean
I
the
saw
leader of the
that.
Soul Society?
Yeah,
Yep,
He
they
dies?
killed.
I thought he
yeah.
was like the Gist among G's. Like
He is the biggest among
The
G's, but
goons.
the way they killed him is so stupid, and then it's so disrespectful how they killed him. But everyone thinks that he's gonna come back because I don't want to ruin it for you guys if you don't want to read the manga,
No,
but
because
he
I
has
remember he did something like
he
man,
has
I
five
remember.
forms to his Bankai.
Yeah, but he had some fire form that was like
Exactly.
it was
It's
crazy.
the
It was like
strongest.
the power of the sun or something.
Oh, his final Bankai form is hotter than the sun. And
Dang.
when he goes into Bankai form, it's bad for Soul Society because his fire literally uh, dries up Soul Society, and if he is in Bankai form too long, he will destroy Soul Society.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's how powerful he is. So he has to make it quick. Yo, Yamaji, Yamamoto Gitsura. He's just ridiculous, me. But I think he has one more version called the Phoenix. Like
Oh, yeah. Phoenix
where he
Rising.
resurrected through fire. So I think that's why they killed him off. That's because like I see Yamaji coming back. They can write that story if they want to, and it's plausible. They get away with it.
Yeah, you're right. With the
So
Phoenix, that would make perfect sense.
yeah, that's the symbol of his Bankai. Like, because remember, Juhabak stole his his Juhabak stole his Bankai, and Yamaji has mastered his Bankai beyond everyone, even the Zero Division. Like even the Zero Division have mastered their Bankai like Yamaji, and the if I correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a guy who makes all the Zanpakutos, right? And he
Hmm.
the guy was like, I named every Zanpakuto, but he has not named Yamaji's Zanpakuto. That's the only
Hmm.
Zanpakuto he has not named, from what I last read. So
Yeah, no, I stopped. I think I stopped reading after he died. I can't really remember
a
when
lot of
he
people
died.
stopped when he died. A lot of people stopped reading it. A
Yeah.
lot of people were so angry.
No, I wasn't
In
angry. It just they just kept going around and around. Okay, go ahead,
in
Blitz.
ca- I got a quick question. In character wise, who could you compare Yamaji to Naruto? Like from Bleach to Naruto. I feel like he sounds more like Jiraiya, maybe. I don't
Nah,
know.
no,
That's just
nah, he's
who
not
would
Jiraiya.
he be like?
Yamaji is God.
Oh,
Oh,
hold up.
okay. Shit.
Yamaji is God. That's it. Old man with a stick walks around, fire. You die for not listening to his law. It sounds like God.
Sounds like Master Roshi.
Please, please, Master Rochi is Jiraiya, if anything. And
Exactly. Yamaji is Yamaji. He is
I'm a G.
Yamaji. Like he is the best. Like free. No, yo, man. He took a Bankai straight in the face. The guy used his vice captain's Bankai against him. He took it straight in the face, and Yamaji looked at the guy and said, Rujanjak, and burnt the man to cinder.
yep.
Dang.
Effortlessly. No efforts.
It was crazy when they were trying to copy his Bankai, and then
Yeah.
he baited him and tricked him with something. I forgot. It was ugly, dude. He was doing them dirty, and then he turned around and he died though, and I was like, what? I
Yeah,
was like,
because
that's crazy.
the real Juhabak came and he had the thing to steal his Bankai.
Yep.
And when he stole it, the thing is to steal the Bankai, you have to be able to control it. And the guy that, although he had Juhabak's power, he did not have the ability to control Yamaji's Bankai, so he couldn't steal it. But then Juhabak came and he was strong enough to steal Yamaji's Bankai, and because he stole Yamaji's Bankai, like this is what that's the part I hate, man. Like I hate that part about it. Like, come on, man. Juabak like got killed when he was younger, and then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, he comes back older, and man, get out of here with that, man. Get out of here. But what's this guy's name? I forgot his name. Yeah. Oh, what is this guy's name?
From what?
From Bleach. Um, uh, I keep forgetting
the
his name.
the
The
Bankai
scientist.
maker?
No, the
Oh.
scientist, something Mayuri.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The scientist from Soul Society, one of the
Uh, Yeah, the scientist from Soul Society. What's his name? Mayuri. He told ya he was around when Yamaji fought Juabak when he was older. He's like, you should have killed him. He told him that he's like, you should have killed him when you when you were younger, but you didn't. Hold on for a second, guy. We in grand finals. Mewtwo King versus Anti. Last stock for last stock, and
Man.
yeah, this is the second set. Mewtwo King was up a set, but he lost a set to Anti. You just got to get a hit on him. Oh, man. Okay. Mewtwo King is losing 62 to 0, percent wise. But if he can get a good hit,
Who are they using?
double
Mewtwo
what's the
King, man. He only
Double Marth.
M2K, man.
No, he
no
plays
double?
Marth a lot. Marth.
No,
Yeah,
this is
but he's also playing.
they're playing Brawl, so it's Meta Knight versus Meta
Yeah,
Knight.
Oh,
Meta
okay,
Knight.
okay.
So it's eighty
Wait, are
percent
you
to
watching
30.
that on Twitch?
Yeah, 92 to 35. Come on, Jason. Jason's losing. Oh, come on, good. 42. Oh, blocked it. Good. Got him 57-92. Come on, Jay. Let's go, Jay. He won melee earlier and he got second in 64. But
Man,
right now, yeah. And he's supposed to be winning brawl right now. Yeah, there's no way he should have been losing this right now. Come on, Jay. Let's go. Oh, we got him 80 to 104, 85 to 104, 90 for 104, 99 to 104,
Oh, he's coming back.
104 to 104, 108 to 104. Ooh, 122 to 104. Jason, the comeback. Ooh. Let's go, Jay. Let's go, Jay. Yes, Jay got him. The Yama G of Smash Brothers. Yo, you
Mewtwo
heard that?
King is
You heard that comeback? Yo, he
Mewtwo
was
King is
just
no joke.
he read him. B. He was reading him. Look at it. They celebrating now. He read him hard too.
wow.
The best. Jay, that kid right there. He is the best Super Smash Brothers player on the planet. Free. There is no argument. Anyone who says otherwise do not know what they're talking about. Like a lot of people are like, oh well, this person's better than him. Some of these people may be better than him at a particular Smash Brothers game, but in overall, he's the best. Like he plays every single Smash Brothers and places top three in every one of them and wins most of them. In fact, he's the most winning Smash Brothers champion of all time. He's
Wow.
won more
Yep.
Jeez.
Smash Brothers tournament than any other player. In fact, any of the top three Smash Brothers players combined, you'd have to combine them and he'd still beat them.
Yeah,
What's
he
this
always
dude's name?
wins. Mewtwo King.
Mewtwo King. M2K.
Damn.
Like I used to like watching his videos when he when he actually used Mewtwo.
He uses Mewtwo in Project M.
Yep, I think that was one of the videos I saw. Because I think I asked Blitz. I asked you one day what was Project M, and you told me. And then I
Oh
was
yeah.
watching him play, and he was freaking crazy. But all right, guys, man, we're gonna have to cut it. We're gonna have to cut it off here. We appreciate you coming on, Triforce, man. I appreciate it, dude.
No problem,
And
It was
man.
awesome, man. It really
No problem.
was. We have to have you on again, man. Next time, especially when Zobi's on here, man. Zobi would have loved to go at it with you on some Nintendo type stuff and just ask you a bunch of questions, man. So hopefully we can do it again, and we appreciate you coming on, and congratulations with the victory tonight from Mewtwo King, and wish you guys the best of luck in the future.
All right, man. Oh, he's playing. Oh, he's playing now. What is he playing? Project M. So if he wins this,
win
he
all three.
will yeah, he will. Well, he won 3 out of 4. Last night he won 3 out of 4. He won Brawl. No, he won
Man.
Melee, Project M, Melee teams, and came second in Brawl. And then
Second.
today, and then today he won Melee singles, got second in 64 singles, got first in Brawl, and now he's playing PM, which he's gonna win. He's not losing PM free. Yeah, like I think he's the best in PM there is. Yeah, see, he's scraping this guy right now in the grand finals. So this is gonna be terrible. So yeah, he's gonna win 3 out. He's gonna triple crown tonight again, and he
Man.
triple crowned tonight.
Huh, triple
I'd
double,
love to
man.
watch that. Hey, send
We'll
us a
check it
link of
out.
that.
I got the
Um,
link over here. I'll check it out. I'll show you when we get done.
They playing right now. But let me let you go, cause I know you're trying to close up and whatnot. So
Yep. Any shout outs, man? You want to give any shout outs,
Oh,
anything? And we'll
definitely.
put your Twitter out.
Um, yeah, please put my Twitter out, EMP_Triforce_GM. Yeah, I know, guys, it's a long thing. You can also follow my team, Empire Arcadia. That's the Twitter for it. It's just Empire Arcadia straight. Shout outs to Nintendo. Shout outs to Reggie. Shout outs to my team, obviously. Shout outs to Mewtwo King, getting it in. Shout outs to Zelda and Link, although they're fictional characters. Uh, shout out to the people at Nintendo
Triforce,
World.
baby.
Shout outs to shout outs.
Yeah, shout outs to shout outs. And definitely shout outs to Guinness, shout outs to Twin Galaxies, shout outs to a new gaming league coming out called Most Valuable Gaming (MVG). Shout outs to MLG and everybody who's supporting esports. And just want to say shout outs to everybody as a whole, and
All right.
definitely shout outs to you guys for having me here.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Much
Much
love.
love, bro. Much love.
All right.
All right, we out, y'all. This is the Inside Your Mind podcast. See you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.